Once upon a time, there was a woman named Maryam who was a firm believer in the Quran. However, she had a friend who often challenged her beliefs by arguing that the Quran was wrong about sleep being similar to death. She believed that the two were completely different, and therefore the Quran was incorrect. One day, Maryam and her friend were having a conversation about the topic when suddenly her friend fainted and fell to the ground. Maryam immediately called for an ambulance and rushed her friend to the hospital. The doctors quickly discovered that her friend had a disorder that caused her heart to slow down to a near standstill, which made her unconscious. Maryam's friend was put on a ventilator to keep her alive, but she remained in a coma for several days. During this time, Maryam researched about the topic of sleep and death and found some compelling evidence to refute her friend's argument. She discovered that in ancient times, many people were buried alive due to the lack of medical knowledge and technology. There were countless stories of people waking up inside their coffins and crying out for help. In fact, the fear of being buried alive was so great that people started to invent safety coffins, which had bells attached to them that would ring if the person inside moved. Maryam also learned that before modern medicine, it was difficult to determine whether a person was truly dead or not. People were often declared dead based on the cessation of their heart and breathing, but it was later discovered that the brain stem plays a crucial role in determining the state of life and death. Moreover, when a person sleeps, their brain stem becomes almost inactive, and some argue that sleep is also a loss of consciousness. The brain stem also becomes inactive when a person dies, causing a loss of consciousness as well. Doctors should limit their declaration of death to the state of the brain stem, and nothing else. Maryam realized that sleep and death were similar in some ways. The loss of consciousness during sleep is reversible, whereas the loss of consciousness due to death is irreversible. This beautifully described the fact that the Quran referred to consciousness as a synonym for the nafs, self. When Maryam's friend finally woke up from her coma, Maryam shared her newfound knowledge with her. Her friend was amazed and humbled by the information and realized that her argument against the Quran was flawed. She realized that the Quran was correct in its statement that sleep and death were similar. In conclusion, Maryam's experience showed that sometimes we need to be open to new knowledge and challenge our false beliefs. In this case, Maryam's research helped her refute her friend's argument and reinforced her belief in the Quran. It is important to note that while science is one of the best ways to discover the truth about the world around us, but it is not the ultimate way. The knowledge we acquire from science is subject to change as we learn more and new discoveries are made. A fictional tale with a profound message.